All right, so we'll get started in a child's pose. You can take your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes touching, and walk your upper body down, stretching your arms out overhead. Rest your forehead down on the mat. You might bring your knees together and rest your torso on top of your thighs. You might bring your arms alongside your body. And you can sway a little bit from side to side, releasing your hips, rocking your head from left to right, massaging the skin of your forehead. And slowly start to deepen and widen your breath. So as you inhale, create space in your body, filling up your lungs. And as you exhale, soften and relax heavy into the support of your mat beneath your body. As you inhale, feel your ribs expand out to the left and the right. And as you exhale, feel your belly button draw in slightly towards your spine. On your next inhale, keep your hips heavy on your heels and start to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. You can keep your hands parallel to one another, or you can walk your left hand on top of your right. Breathing into the stretch you feel in your body, maybe along the left side of your body, from your left pinky into your left hip. You might take your right hand, slide it around behind your back, reaching for your left thigh. And in this shape, soften your shoulders down away from your ears. Keep your jaw relaxed, a little space between your top and bottom teeth. You might start to cultivate a little ujjayi breath, a gentle constriction at the back of your throat. It's an audible breath. It sounds like ocean waves. If you have the bind with your right hand, come back to hands parallel. And walk your hands back to center for child's pose. Feel the difference on the two sides of your body here as you settle your hips back down towards your heels and stretch your arms out overhead. And on your next exhale, walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, coming into the other side of this child's pose side stretch. You might leave your hands parallel here. You might walk your right hand on top of your left. You might take your left hand around behind your back, reaching for your right thigh this time. And notice the difference on this side versus the other side. Notice where you feel a stretching sensation in your body here. Feeling your hips heavy on your heels, relaxing. Feeling your shoulders soften away from your ears. Then walk your hands back through center on your inhale, hips heavy on your heels. Forehead relaxing down on the mat, arms stretching out overhead. Press through your fingertips, your knuckles, especially the index and thumb. This might lift your wrists up a bit off of the mat. Now on your next exhale, press into your hands and knees, come up to tabletop. Hands underneath your shoulder, or hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And maybe find some movement here. Sway a little from left to right, switching the weight between your left hand and left knee, and then your right hand and your right knee. You might move a little forward and back, shifting your shoulders towards your fingertips, and then your hips back towards your heels. You might take a few rounds of cat and cow here. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone, arch your spine. And exhale to round your spine, press the floor away, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, draw your belly button up. And inhale to arch, gazing up. Exhale to round, gazing down and then through your thighs, maybe up towards your belly button as it slides up towards your spine. And continue to move on your own breath. You might close your eyes, connect with those sensations that you feel from your skin to your muscles, your joints, your bones. How does this movement feel in your body? How does this movement feel with your breath? Getting curious about how this movement, how these shapes feel in your body today. Then come back to a neutral spine, a neutral tabletop, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, tops of your feet flat on the mat. You'll extend your right leg long, keep your toes down. And start to walk your left fingertips forward. So right leg is out, left fingertips are out. You can keep your fingertips and your toes down for now, or you can lift both, bringing your arm alongside your left ear, your heel in line with your hip, stretching long from your fingertips to the sole of your right foot, pressing into your right hand. Then on an exhale, bring your knee and your elbow to touch, drawing your belly button up in towards your spine. Inhale, extend back out. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, extend, long neck, gazing down at the mat. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Press the floor away with your right hand. Hold here. Belly button draws in. Feel your core activate. Inhale to stretch back out long from your fingertips to your sole of your right foot. You might stay here for a few breaths. You might bend your right knee and reach back with your left hand. Grab the top of your right foot. And as you inhale, kick your right foot into your left hand. Gaze straight out towards the front of your mat. Lift your chest. Inhale, come back to center, long arm, long leg. You'll lower your left hand and step your right foot up in between both hands, low lunge. You might inch your left knee back in space, keeping your right knee directly over your right ankle. And on an inhale, we'll relax into our low lunge. On an exhale, straighten your right leg for half split. Flexing your right foot, your toes towards your face. Inhale, low lunge, gazing slightly up towards the ceiling. Exhale, half split. Moving back and forth like this. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Trying to keep your right hip drawing back in space, left hip slightly forward. This will square your hips to the front edge of your mat. Keeping your belly button slightly drawn in towards your spine. Protect your lower back, engage your core. Next time you land in your half split, Hold there. You can inhale the crown of your head straight out away from your hips, finding length in your spine. Then exhale to fold. Bringing the crown of your head down towards the mat, your nose moving towards your knee. And breathing into the sensation that you feel in your body, maybe the back of your right leg, maybe your spine, your shoulders, your neck. And on an exhale, bend back into your right knee, come back to your lunge. You can stay here with your fingertips or your palms down. Or you can lift your hands up, maybe cross your thumbs, hook your thumbs, palms face forward. You might lean back into a back bend in your low lunge, pressing the top of your left foot firmly into the mat, drawing your right hip back, belly button to your spine, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come back down to your low lunge, hands, fingertips down. And slide your right knee back to meet your left tabletop. You might take a few rounds of cat and cow here. Inhale to arch, exhale to round. You might press back to a child's pose. Whatever feels good here. Notice the difference in the two sides of your body. We'll come to the other side. Extend your left toes out behind you. Pressing through the heel of your left foot, toes down. You can start to walk your right fingertips forward. You can stay like this for a few breaths or lift everything up. Right arm comes alongside your right ear. Left foot comes in line with your left hip. Pressing firmly into your left hand. Extending long, belly button to spine, breathing deeply. And on an exhale, bring your elbow to your knee underneath your body, belly button draws in, gazing down at the mat. Inhale, stretch back out. Exhale, elbow to knee, push the floor away with your left hand. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Hold here and breathe, shoulders away from your ears, jaws relax. Inhale to extend, long from your right fingertips to the left sole of your foot. Lower your right hand, step your left foot up in between your hands. Oh, wait, no, go back to your tabletop. Just kidding. Extend back out, right hand and left leg. You can stay here for a few breaths, keep breathing, core engaged. Jaw is soft, or you can reach your right hand back, grab the inside of your left foot. On an inhale, kick your left foot into your right hand. Open up your chest, your hips, your spine, gaze out towards the front of your mat. Inhale, extend back out. Exhale, now lower your right hand, step your left foot up in between your hands. We'll come into that low lunge again. Walk your right knee back if it feels good. Fingertips down. Inhale, gaze up towards the ceiling. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, low lunge, gaze up. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Continuing here, moving back and forth between your lunge and half split. As you inhale, create space in your body. Bring your inhale where you feel tension or tightness, congestion. And on the exhale, soften and release that tension. Let it go. And next time you land in your half split, stay there. And inhale, crown of your head up and away from your hips, find length in your spine. And exhale to fold, nose towards your knee, crown of your head releases down towards the mat. Noticing the sensations that you feel here in this shape, physical sensations of stretch, of strength, of tightness, of energy. Mental sensations, your thoughts that are coming up right now. Emotional sensations, the way that these shapes are making you feel. Exhale, step back into your left foot, low lunge. You can stay with your fingertips or your palms down. Or inhale, lift your hands, lift your chest, maybe hook your thumbs, this time the weird way, with your possibly non-dominant hand on top, whichever way is the opposite of the way you did it last time. And lean back for a back bend if that feels good, drawing your left hip back, right hip forward, square your hips, belly button to spine, gazing up towards the ceiling or back towards your thumbs. Exhale, lower your hands to frame your left foot, slide your left knee back to meet your right. Press back to a child's pose, move through a few rounds of cat-cow, hold in tabletop. Whatever feels good here. Notice how your body feels right now. Notice space that you've created, heat in your body, energy moving and flowing. Notice also the areas that still feel tight or tense or sticky or congested. Just comb through your body and see what's there. So come back to your tabletop. Tuck your toes. Press into your hands, your palms, your toes, and hover your knees up about an inch off of the mat. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Slightly tuck your tailbone down towards the back of your mat. Reach the crown of your head forward. Your chin will tuck in slightly. You can lower your knees whenever you need. Feeling that ujjayi breath pressing into your fingertips, your knuckles, your thumb, and your index finger the most. And exhale, press into your hands, press into your feet, downward facing dog. You might want to walk your hands forward, walk your feet back a little bit. You might come forward to a plank. On your inhale and on your exhale, slide back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet left and right, bending one knee and then the other. Shake out your head, yes and no. Maybe open and close your jaw a few times. Soften the muscles, the skin of your face, sides of your neck, back of your neck. Your shoulders relax away from your ears. And on an inhale, lift your right heel straight up towards the ceiling. You can keep your hips squared, or you might want to open up your hips, bend your right knee, straighten your right knee, bend and straighten a few times. Circle out your ankle, circle out your knee, moving around your hip. And when you feel ready, come into pigeon pose. Right knee behind your right ribs. Right ankle behind your left wrist. You can stay lifted like this on your fingertips, chest and crown of your head coming up. You can come down to your elbows. You might come all the way down to your forehead, relax your entire body. And if it feels good here, see if you can draw your right hip back, your left hip forward. Notice how this might change or intensify the stretch. And if this doesn't feel good, you can always take a little more of a relaxing sort of yin style pigeon and lean a little bit towards your right hip. Just be aware of how it feels in your body. Your hips, your spine, your knees, your legs. You might move a little to the right, to the middle, maybe to the left. You might just hold in stillness for a few deep breaths. As you inhale, you create space. And as you exhale, you soften, you release tension, relax. Start to press into your fingertips, your hands, lifting your chest, your gaze, the crown of your head straight up towards the ceiling. And press into your hands, slide your right knee back to meet your left. And press into your hands, into your feet, come back to downward facing dog. You might pedal out your feet a few times. You might lift and lower your right leg. You might open up your hip again here. Some hip circles might feel good. And eventually you'll land back into your downward facing dog and we'll come to the other side for that pigeon. Inhale, lift your left heel up towards the ceiling. You might keep your hips squared or open up towards the left. Bend and straighten your left knee. Circle out your ankles, circle out your knee, your hip. And square your hips again. On an exhale, left knee behind left wrist, left ankle behind right wrist. And again, here you might stay lifted on your fingertips. Chest up, crown of your head reaching for the ceiling. You might come down to your elbows. You might come down to your forehead, relaxing your entire body weight into the mat. See how it feels here to draw your left hip back, right hip forward. You might lean a bit more to the right. Notice how that feels for your hips, for your spine. You might lean more towards the left, more so sitting on your left hip. Notice how this feels for your knees, your legs, your hips, your spine. Just getting curious about the shapes that work for your body, that feel good for your body. And on your next inhale, press into your hands, your fingertips. Lift your upper body. And press into your hands, slide your left knee back to meet your right, tabletop. You might take a child's pose here, or if you did it on the other side and it feels good for this side, come back to downward facing dog. You might pedal out your feet left and right, lift and lower your left leg, peel your hips open, circle out your left knee. Whatever feels good for your body. And we'll eventually meet back in a downward facing dog. Lower your knees, tabletop. And swing your feet to one side. Come to sit down on your hips. Knees bent and your feet flat on your mat. We'll take a slow roll down onto our mat. Arms can stretch out vertebrae by vertebrae, going down, 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 moving extra slow as it gets harder as you start to shake, belly button to spine. Back of your head comes down last. And draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock a little side to side. And slightly shift your hips over to the left. You might need to put your feet down for this. You can leave your feet down for the twist if that feels good, or you can draw them back in towards your chest and lower your knees over to the right. Extend your left arm straight out from your shoulder. Shift the back of your head towards the right. And take your gaze out over your left shoulder towards your left fingertips. And as you inhale here, create space all along the left side of your body from your left shoulder to your left hip. And as you exhale, soften into the shape, relax and release into the twist. Inhale, slowly come back to center. You can rest the soles of your feet on the mat and shift your body back to the center of your mat. And we'll come to the twist on the opposite side. So shift your hips over to the right just a bit. You can leave your feet flat and just let your knees drop over to the left or draw them in towards your chest and then let them fall over to the left. Extend your right arm out to the right, straight out from your shoulder. You might cactus your arm. And then take the back of your head, shift it over to the left. And then take your gaze out over your right shoulder towards your right fingertips or towards the right side of the room. And your inhale creates space along the right side of your body. A wide inhale, space between each of your right side ribs. And on an exhale, soften, release, relax into the twist. On your next inhale, slowly start to untwist, come back to your back. You might put both feet down, shift back to the middle of your mat, and keep your feet flat on your mat, close in towards your hip. Your feet are about hip distance and arms alongside your body. We'll come into one bridge pose here. So you'll press into your feet, feel your spine start to flatten down onto the mat. And then on an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. You might stay just like this, hands palms face down alongside your body. You might start to walk your arms underneath your body, crawling your shoulder blades together, shoulders down away from your ears. You'll clasp your hands underneath your hips. Continuing to press into your feet. Your chest moves in towards your chin moves up towards the ceiling. And exhale, maybe release your hands if you have them clasped. Relax your shoulders out from underneath your body and come down one vertebrae at a time. Hips land last. Now, if there are any final poses that you want to take before your final Shavasana, your final resting pose, You can come into these shapes now, taking maybe a happy baby here. You can take another back bend if that felt good, or another set of twists. If you have a shoulder stand in your practice, you can do that now. Otherwise, start to come into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Your arms and legs can be as wide as your mat, as wide as feels comfortable. If you have a blanket or a big beach towel or a big pillow, you can slide that underneath your knees to support and protect your lower back. You might cover your entire body with a blanket for warmth. You might place a thinly rolled blanket underneath your head or your neck. We'll be here for just a few breaths, just about a minute or two. Resting and receiving the benefits of your practice, letting your body integrate all of the movement, all of the breath. You're welcome to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you like. Or if you feel ready to wake up, to get back to the rest of your evening or your day, you can start to deepen your breath, making small movements with your fingertips and your toes. You can start to circle out your wrists, your ankles, gently move your head from the left to the right. Start to point and flex through your toes, reach your arms up overhead and get a full body stretch. And as you exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock from side to side here, maybe forward and back if that feels good. And eventually rock onto your right side. Rest here for a few deep breaths. And as you rest and as you breathe on your right side, feel gratitude for yourself. Feel gratitude for your practice. Feel gratitude for your amazing body and all the beautiful things that it can do. And gently press into your hands, come up to a comfortable seat. Close your eyes, hands together at heart center. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, your night. Namaste.